Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today, I have another Kung Fu film to review for you folks, because I like reviewing old, obscure films from the past. Yes, of course, it's cheaply made, obviously. So anyway, this one is titled Snake Crane Secret, is the film I'll be reviewing today, folks, which was retitled quite a few times for whatever reason. Just makes things harder if anybody wants to actually purchase this movie on DVD, because they had to rename this film quite a few times for some reason. But what the hell? Yeah, I don't get that, folks. I really don't get it. Just wanted to bring that up real quick for anyone that's interested in buying a copy of this movie. And of course, this film was also released multiple times in multiple packs. Holy hell, folks. Talk about having a film with multiple different editions or what have you. And that's definitely this movie, folks. In packs, or maybe sometimes in its own solo disc and whatnot before being re-released more than once. So yeah, that's definitely something I want to, bring up for a moment, because that's what happened here. So yes, there's going to be a fairly good chance that you may actually stumble across the movie I'm talking about, but just beware, there's multiple English versions that's out there, so yeah. So you may come across the English dub version, but I just thought I'd let you know about that, because there's like multiple copies of this of it in different editions and whatnot, and some of these were released in from different companies or whatever. So the quality of the picture and audio will of course vary, obviously. All of which depending on which of these you might be getting. But the one I'm going to be reviewing is, of course, it's going to be the original version with English subtitles. So I just thought I'd talk about that one instead, I guess, because finding the unedited editions of these films are a pain in the fucking ass. So again, I just want to clear that up for real quick. So yeah. Well, anyway, folks, any fucking way. There's a good chance of actually getting it, I guess. And the version I'm reviewing is the original version with English subtitles. So, yeah, let you know. Anyway, as usual, I'll get in the story, so let's begin, shall we? So, what's going on in this movie? It tells a story of mistrust, lying, and deceit. So, yeah, one of those kinds of movies. So, yeah, there's this family that tries to uphold their honor while keeping their kung fu book, of course, from getting to the wrong hands, of course, because it's sacred. Yes, there's also these two brothers who were split apart at a very young age. Then, yeah, and that's the thing. So, of course, as a result, the two men knew nothing about the other siblings as they grew older, of course, and yes, they would eventually come together to team up for revenge and how to fight for their country. So yeah, it gets pretty crazy. Two brothers were pretty much separated really young due to the fact that their was actually murdered by a fellow martial artist because he's an asshole. So of course they would basically want to take revenge once they get of age, obviously. So if anything, this pretty much boils down to revenge kind of thing, a revenge tale. Yeah, that's the thing. The father character was really attempting to protect the secret snake and crane kung fu book from this bad guy. So yeah, pretty much 20 years later, the same bad guy, same prick is the top man of this Destiny leader. So yes, there's also this group of rebels, and of course they're the good guys. They need the brothers and their kung fu skills to stop the villain of the story and free their people. So yeah, folks, that's the overall premise of this film, really. Pretty much the villain character wants to hold this kind of political power, of course, and has links to the emperor. I guess with his ways, of course, he looks a bit like a crazy member, I guess you can say, masterminding his villainy, of course, and pretty much using his ways to exploit his loyal minions, obviously. So their mission is to basically find a stolen list, and yeah, there's also of course, going to be the revolutionary fighters and whatnot, and of course, everybody in this film are expert fighters. Everybody knows kung fu rather well, and of course, the final boss, the final villain, is the best kung fu fighter out there. And yes, the heroes of the story is going to have a pretty tough time taking them out. Which of course is like a tradition for these movies. They always seem to have like a real struggle taking down the bad guy. But will they succeed? You have to find out. So the way this film was handling its fight scenes was pretty good. I did like the way it was handling its choreographed. It was really nice, of course. I always like to see these films in the original format, obviously. And yeah, if you can find it, I definitely say check it out, folks. So, as a whole, I really enjoyed this film. I'll give it an overall rating of a 7.5 out of 10. It gets a 7.5 out of 10 for me. And as always, thanks for watching, and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah.